Hello, my name is Gennady from Sofia, Bulgaria, and today we're here with Brian from LINBIT to talk about their new event at the end of October. Hello, Brian. How are you today in Oregon?
Doing pretty well, thank you.
All right. Well, I'm calling you right now. So what exactly are you doing in LINBIT? What is your position?
So I originally started the United States office of LINBIT back in 2008. And at that point, I was heading up all of the engineering while my other associate was doing the sales. Um, Now I have moved into the role of overseeing all of everything that we do on the US side. So it's kind of a jack of all trades, hopefully a master of some.
All right. Well, certainly sounds interesting. So I hear, guys, that you are having a great event coming, LINSTOR Days. But first, tell us, how did you come up with that idea?
So about 3 weeks ago, I had a call with a potential prospect, and I was just trying to get a feel for what they were seeing in the industry as far as Kubernetes and how that goes, and where they saw there was room for improvement. And as he's going through and discussing all of the points that he feels need improvement, I realized that we do all of these things, or at least 90 to 95% of all of them. Um, so at that point, I reached out to our marketing guy, Niels, and said, we've got people that don't understand that we do a lot of these things, and these are key players in the industry. Um, we need to get more advertising out there. So then he came up with the idea of we should have a LINSTOR Days, a series of webinars. And of course, I jumped on board with that because it's an opportunity to share what we do with the world.
Certainly sounds interesting. So please, Brian, can you please describe in no more than 3 sentences for us how those LINSTOR Days are going to look like?
Yeah, so initially we'll go through with a brief introduction with myself and Will Mapp on day one. And then we'll go through with a little bit more in-depth information the following days, along with having, I think we have a special guest speaker from Western Digital that's going to be presenting with us, I think on Thursday, I believe, of the LINSTOR Days. And then I think we'll end it up with a development Q&A. So this is an opportunity for the community to ask questions directly to the developers or even make suggestions to the developers as to what they would think would improve LINSTOR.
All right. So what exactly are going to be the benefits of the attendees viewing your webinars? What exactly are they going to get from that?
Hopefully the takeaways of all the functionality of LINSTOR, but also the flexibility. So with LINSTOR, um, it's LINSTOR, for those that don't know, is it's a wrapper around this Linux storage tools. So like LVM and iSCSI and NVMe over Fabrics, they can provision all of these things and deploy them all through one interface. And it also provides an API interface so that you can integrate it into other products, or you can reference it from websites or graphical interfaces or anything like that. So
All right.
hopefully they'll take that away, and then also just get a better understanding of a little bit about who LINBIT is and where we're headed.
Okay, so more about LINBIT, more about LINSTOR, probably more use cases, probably more about Kubernetes, I guess.
Certainly, yeah. LINSTOR can be used alone as a standalone product without Kubernetes.
Mhm.
Like if you just want to provision a group of storage or a storage group of servers as storage pools, and then provision that storage there. Um, or it can be used with Kubernetes, which is where we see it being used at quite a bit.
Okay, so can you just tell us a little bit more about LINSTOR and Kubernetes, just a bit?
Yeah, so originally, to deploy a Kubernetes or a LINSTOR cluster, there's a lot of moving pieces. You have a controller and a satellite, and then you have to set up each server along the way. So with Kubernetes, we've developed this operator that deploys the controller and satellites as pods within the Kubernetes cluster. And then you can just interface with the Kubernetes cluster like you would any other cluster, and then you'll be able to provision your storage as persistent storage or even replicated persistent storage.
All right. So that's quite interesting, really. So tell us more about the event schedule for LINSTOR Days and the type of content that is going to be available for all the attendees.
So the schedule, again, we'll do the intro and then we'll kind of work into technical, and then we'll end with a developer Q&A. As far as content available, we've got several YouTube videos that we've recently published that give demonstrations of LINSTOR and how to use it and how to provision the storage within Kubernetes. So those will be pushed out. We also have a series of tech guides and quick sheets that are in PDF form that we can share with everyone. And then hopefully we'll finish up strong with a good Q&A and maybe even end up with some new features.
Whoa, this is very interesting. Everybody wants to hear something new is coming along the way. And what else is there next to the webinars? Do you have something interesting prepared for the people coming to them, or I don't know?
We have a couple contests right now where you can win the t-shirt that I'm wearing, or even the hat, I think, conveniently enough. I think there's a couple things that we need to do that. They're listed on our website right now. And I believe we're also giving away some free trainings as well that go in depth with some of our developers over DRBD and pacemaker clusters. So you can really learn the fundamentals and then also the real intricacies of how to configure a pacemaker cluster.
All right. Well, that's certainly something I would like to see, and I really like your t-shirt. Probably
Thanks.
I'll love to win one.
Yeah, this idea actually came to me. I've had it for a few years, and then we tried to execute on it about a year and a half ago, but it was just too quick. We didn't have the opportunity, so I said, okay, let's take our time and get it done. So this is probably revision 3 or 4 of it, but we finally did it.
It's great. So just to wrap it up, what's next for LINSTOR and LINBIT? What can we expect in the future?
Coming up, we've actually got some pretty interesting things. There's talk around the development table about supporting clustered LVM. We'll continue to improve the integration into Kubernetes. That's like a moving target. Kubernetes is very rapidly developing, and we've got a great set of developers that are able to actually keep up with it pretty well. We've also got snapshot shipping. We're working on getting snapshot shipping working to S3 as well, because that's a highly requested feature. And then I believe beyond that, we also have, this is outside the realm of LINSTOR a little bit, but we do have a Windows version of DRBD that we'll be pushing out shortly for those that want high availability in Windows.
All right. Well, this certainly sounds very good. Now, thank you for your time, Brian, and I can't wait to see how LINSTOR Days will look like in action. So, hope to see you soon.
Thanks. We'll see you.